One of the major concerns of any list is tracking information, whether it's about people or transactions, orders, as we see here, is the uniqueness of certain columns. We don't want any duplicates whatsoever in column A. Each row here is about a different transaction. So we want to prevent duplicate entries in column A. We're going to be using the data validation capability in Excel. It's on the Data tab. Now, let's talk just a little bit about what we want to do here. We want to say, in effect, every time an entry goes in here, we want to make sure that it doesn't exist elsewhere in the column. So by the, we're going to have 5 or 6 or 10 or hundreds of these. At any given time when we make an entry, we want to check that entry with all the others. A different way to say this would be, let's use the COUNTIF function to see how many times the current entry appears in the column. And if it appears more than once, prevent it. Column A, data validation. The settings, we want to allow, and there appears to be no real obvious choice here, it's custom, meaning a custom formula. And here's that custom formula, equal COUNTIF. Now, perhaps you are familiar with this function. It's a great tool for counting the occurrence of entries in a column or a row. And where are we looking here? We're looking in column A. So I'm going to click that, comma. A1 is currently the active cell. So we use it here as a surrogate or a substitute for all the others. And what we're suggesting here is we're going to count the current entry and compare it with everything else in column A to see how many times it occurs. And we want this result to always be 1. And so every time we make a new entry, we want to be, in effect, checking to make sure that it appears here once and only once. So this is the requirement here. So let's try this. Suppose our transactions are truly numbers. Here's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. How about another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Not valid. We could customize this message if we want to, but I think most people would get the point. It's a duplicate here. Cancel. It also works with letters or letter combinations. Suppose it's a letter scheme. A, B, C, D, E. S, D, E, R, T. A, B, C, D, E. There we go. Once again, it's prevented. So you have control over it. And again, that formula, we don't see it here in any of the cells. I'll click back in column A, go back to data validation, and there's that formula. If you're familiar with COUNTIF, it's much more obvious as to how it works. If you're not, well, use it anyway, because it does work. Great way to keep out duplicates in column A in this example.